polusyon sa ating mga ilog at karagatan.
Nauubos ang basura.
Water.
The world is surrounded by water. Our life and living depends with it. It gives us food and drinking, grants us everything just enough to make our world habitable.
But what do we give back?
Good morning, welcome back. I'm Yu Wei Chen. This morning, we bring you a serious and developing environmental crisis that has deeply affected an entire community. For more than a year, a manufacturing company known as Delta Chemicals has allegedly been discharging untreated chemical waste into a public river that runs through a residential town. This river is not privately owned. It is a vital public resource used daily by residents, relied upon by fishermen for their livelihood, and enjoyed by the public for recreational activities such as jogging and cycling. Over time, growing numbers of complaints have been raised by those living nearby. Residents along the riverbanks report murky and discarded water, persistent and overpowering foul smells, and increasing concerns over health risks, environmental damage, and loss of income. What makes the situation even more troubling is that numerous complaints have already been lodged with the local council. Yet, despite repeated reports, no enforcement action has been taken so far. We now go live to our reporter TEOH Jin, who is at the scene to bring us the latest developments.
Thank you, Anchor. My name is TEOH Jin, reporting live from riverbank just a few hundred meters downstream from Delta Chemical. What you're seeing behind me is not muddy rainwater. According to residents, this river has changed color over the past year, from clean flowing water to dark, murky pollution with a strong chemical stench, especially after sunset. Residents say this smell is so overpowering that many are forced to shut their window, avoid outdoor activity, and keep their children indoors. For fishermen, this river is not part of environment. It is their livelihood. Let me show you what the community has been living with. These photographs were taken by residents over several months. They show visible discoloration of the water, foam-like residue, and dead fish reported on multiple occasions. Despite repeated complaints to the local council, residents claim no effective enforcement action has been taken so far. Look at is my catch for the whole day. That is a fish with no future.
You think that's bad? I can't even go for my evening walk anymore.
What? Excuse me? The river is my job. I used to catch a real fish, but now I'm just catching disappointment.
Oh, the smell is so horrible. It's like rotten eggs and like with dirty socks. My head is very pain and my chest is filled tight. This is not normal.
Hey, don't say that, don't say that. The news is coming. If we fail now, nobody will hear our complaint legally.
Okay.
We are live in 30 seconds. Please tell the camera clearly, how has this pollution affect your life?
This is not just a small issue. It affects everyone here. The smell, the water, our health risk. It's not just annoying. It is very serious.
Exactly. The river belongs to the public. Now it's poison. We cannot fish, we cannot relax, we cannot breathe properly. So what you are saying is this problem affects many people, not just one or two.
Yes, the whole community is suffering right now.
And some of us suffer more. I lost my income. That's my food, my family food.
You are both right. Pollution of a public river causing foul smells, health risks, and disruption to daily life is a classic example of public nuisance.
See, the law supports my melodrama.
What makes this situation even more concerning is that the alleged pollution has been ongoing for more than a year. Environmental harm on this scale does not affect just one individual. It affects an entire community, public health, and public resources. The key question now is whether this situation amounts to public nuisance under the law, and what legal remedies are available to the affected resident. For the legal perspective, we return to the studio.
Thank you for that on-the-ground report. What we are seeing here is not just an environmental concern, but a situation that raises serious legal questions affecting public health, safety, and community rights. To help us understand the legal implication of this ongoing pollution, we are now joined by three guests. First, we have Ms. Uy Angel, an environmental and public interest lawyer specializing in environmental torts and pollution cases. Next, joining us from the affected town is Ms. Lim Jai, a community representative, speaking on behalf of local residents and fishermen. And finally, we are joined by Ms. Ng Yi Qing, a representative from an environmental NGO focusing on environmental protection and corporate accountability. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Ms. Uy, based on what we have seen, untreated chemical waste discharged into a public river, foul smells and health concerns affecting many people. Does this situation amount to public nuisance under Malaysian law?
Thank you for the questions. So, based on the fact presented, this situation is strongly points towards the public nuisance under Malaysian law. And public nuisance occurs when an act or omission materially affects the reasonable comfort, convenience, health, or safety of a class of a public, rather than just one individual. And this definition has been clearly adopted in Malaysian courts, including in Majlis Perbandaran Pulau Pinang versus Bowie Sultan. And here, the river is a public resource, so it is used by the residents, fishermen, joggers, and also cyclists. And the continuous discharge of untreated chemical waste has resulted in polluted water, persistent foul smells, and potential health risks. And these effects go beyond mere inconvenience. They interfere with the public rights, particularly the right to clean water and a safe environment. And importantly, this is not one-off incident. The pollution has been ongoing over a year, which makes the interference continuous and unreasonable, a key element in establishing public nuisance.
So, this isn't just about discomfort or annoyances. is about an ongoing interference with public rights shared by the community at large. Ms. Lim, you represent residents and fishermen living this river. Can you tell us how this pollution has affected daily life in the community?
Thank you. By representing on behalf of the community, I would like to say that this situation has become unbearable, and the river water has turned visibly murky, and the smell is especially strong in the evenings, and the families cannot longer open their windows, and children are trapped indoors because their parents are worried about their health. And for fishermen, the impact is even more severe. Fish stocks have declined, and some fishermen are afraid to fish in the river anymore, and all due to the contaminations concerns, and this directly affects their livelihoods and not just their comfort. Some residents has also reported headache, nausea, and breathing discomfort, and these are not the minor inconvenience. They affect our health, our income, and our quality of life.
That clearly shows the harm is not theoretical, it's real, ongoing, and deeply disruptive.
That's true. Many residents are asking that if this affect everyone, can ordinary residents actually take legal actions, or does the government have the right to sue for public nuisances?
That's an excellent and very important question. So generally, public nuisance is enforceable by the state either through criminal prosecution or civil action by the Attorney General or even a local authority. And this is to prevent too many losses over the same public wrong. However, Malaysian law recognizes an important exception known as the rule of special damage. If an individual or a group suffers special or particular damage over and above what the general public suffers, they may bring a civil action themselves. And special damage includes serious health effects, loss of livelihood, or direct property damage. So this principle was reinforced in Borneo Wak Sdn Bhd versus Ratna Seri Arif and others. While in our case, fishermen losing income and residents experiencing health issues clearly satisfy the special damage rule. So the court recognized that the continuous and substantial interference affecting land or common spaces may amount to nuisance.
Okay, I see your point, Ms. Oi. Is there any previous incident or cases law that can support us as residents?
In the case of John, Bin, Until, and others versus Prolific Yield Sdn Bhd, the residents were actually allowed to bring a representative action because industrial effluent polluted a public river, affecting their health and also daily lives. And the court recognized that the pollution of public waterways can actually constitute public nuisance, and affected residents form a clear class with a common grievance. Here, the fishermen losing income and the residents do actually experiencing health problems would likely satisfy the requirement of special damage.
So while public nuisance protects the public as a whole, the law still allows affected individuals to step forward when the harm is more serious for them. Ms. Ng, from an environmental NGO perspective, how does this case compare to other environmental pollution cases in Malaysia?
This case is sadly familiar. Environmental pollution, especially involving river, is a classic form of public nuisance in Malaysia. The Sungai QING incident is a strong example. The incident involved toxic waste dumping which affected thousands of residents, caused school closures, and resulted in serious health consequences. Academic analysis of the Sungai QING case show that the public nuisance does not require property damage. Health effects, toxic exposure, foul smells, and disruption to daily life are sufficient. What concerns NGO is the lack of immediate enforcement. Environmental harm worsens over time, and delay increase the number of victims. From our experience, early legal action, especially injunction, is critical to stop further harm.
That comparison really highlights how serious and widespread the consequences of pollution can be when left unchecked.
Ms. Oi, opponents sometimes argue that complaints like smell or discomfort are exaggerated. How does the law distinguish the real public nuisance from mere inconvenience?
This is where Rajan Paralingam and another versus Persatuan Penduduk Taman de Villa Equestrian becomes relevant. So in that case, the court rejected the nuisance claim because the plaintiff actually failed to clearly plead and prove the unreasonable interference with a public right. So the mere dissatisfaction or discomfort was not enough actually. However, the key difference here is the evidence and also the seriousness. So in the Delta Chemical scenario, we do have a continuous pollution for over a year, a physical contamination of a public river, the strong foul smells and health risks, and also the livelihood loss. So this goes far beyond mere inconvenience. Unlike the Ranjan case, the interference here is clear, ongoing, and substantial.
I see. So evidence and seriousness make all the difference. Ms. Ui, could Delta Chemicals face criminal liability, or is this purely a civil matter?
Delta Chemical may potentially face both civil and criminal liability. Under Section 268 of the Penal Code, public nuisance is actually a criminal offense where an act causes common injury, danger, or annoyance to the public or people in the vicinity. Importantly, environmental public nuisance often operates on a strict liability basis, as discussed in the journal Criminal Liability for Environmental Pollution in Malaysia. This means the prosecution does not need to prove intention because it is enough to show that the act occurred and the public harm resulted. And corporations can be held liable through the directors, management, or failure to comply with the environmental regulations. A company cannot hide behind its corporate structure when the public safety is at stake.
That's a strong reminder that environmental responsibility is not optional. It carries real legal consequences. Finally, Ms. Hoy, what legal remedies are available to the affected residents and fishermen?
So in my opinion, the affected parties may pursue several remedies. First, they may seek an injunction to immediately stop the Delta Chemicals from continuing the discharge. And secondly, for those who suffered the special damage, such as health issues or loss of income, may claim the damages in a civil action. And thirdly, the authorities may also initiate the criminal enforcement leading to fines or any other penalties, while public nuisance uniquely bridges the civil and criminal law, making it a powerful legal tool to protect the public from serious environmental harm.
Thank you, Ms. Oi, Ms. Ding, and Ms. Eung for those clear and insightful explanations. As highlighted earlier, this situation goes far beyond environmental damage alone. What we are witnessing is not merely an environmental issue, but a legal, social, and public health crisis that affects the entire community. When a public river meant to be shared and enjoyed by all is polluted and rendered unsafe, the rights of the public are directly interfered with. This is precisely where the law of public nuisance becomes critically important. It exists to safeguard common rights and to hold those responsible accountable when widespread harm is caused. The situation unfolding here demonstrates how legal principles are essential in addressing and responding to environmental harm that impacts the public at large. Thank you for watching.